Most RVers will agree that the worst part about owning a trailer is backing into those really tight campsites. Now, that's made especially worse if you don't have a reverse camera on your trailer, like us. Haloview has been nice enough to send us a reverse camera to try out, so we're going to be installing that today, and I'll show you how it gets installed, and then we'll test it out on the road and see if it makes reversing any easier for us. We were skeptical about installing a reverse camera on our trailer. We didn't want to have to drill new holes into it, and we didn't want to have to run new wiring. So when Haloview initially approached us, I was a little apprehensive, but they let me know that this was a solar-powered RV reverse camera, which meant that we shouldn't have to run any new wiring. We shouldn't have to deal with having to drill holes into our trailer, so I'm happy about that, but let's get the installation started and see how it goes. So here's a look at the box for the reverse camera. So it's a Haloview BT7 Solar. As you can see, it comes with a solar panel that mounts to the roof of your trailer, reverse camera, and a touchscreen to go inside your vehicle. Okay, so I've taken everything out of the box. Let's have a look at what's contained inside. So we'll start by looking at the stuff that goes inside your vehicle, and that includes the touchscreen panel. So this is where you're going to see the footage from your reverse camera. This comes with two mounting brackets in the box, so that's kind of nice. So you have some options here. There's a suction cup mounting bracket, so that's this one here, that can suction to your dash or to your window. And then there's a more permanent installation. So this one is a 3M adhesive, so you need to clean the surface first, and then you can adhere this again to the dash or to the window, but it is a little bit more permanent. I think we're actually going to be using this one today, although we're not going to permanently adhere it just yet, because I think we're going to put it inside one of the cup holders, so we'll check that out shortly. But the mounting brackets are quite flexible. They give a lot of room to pivot, and when you're mounting these on the back of the touchscreen, there's a bit of options too for exactly where you slide it up and down on the back of the camera, which is nice. The box also comes with two power cables. It comes with a 12-volt DC power cable and a USB-C cable. Today we're going to use the USB-C for our installation. And finally, for the inside of the vehicle, comes with these two antennas which mount on the top of the touchscreen. Alright, so next let's look at the items that will be mounted on the trailer. So the first thing that comes in the box is a solar panel. So this is my favorite part of this reverse camera, is that you're not running wiring all the way back to your 12-volt battery. You're simply connecting this directly to the camera. You've got the camera itself, so the camera has a built-in battery, so this is a fairly heavy unit. Got another antenna that mounts to the side of this camera. It does come with an extension cord if your solar panel is going to be mounted farther distance away from your camera. You can use this to extend it. And then it also comes with the cables needed that if you want to charge your battery in your camera directly from 120 volts, you can use these cables to do that. And then the last thing it comes with is the little metal mounting bracket. So these have adhesive on the back. So this one is for the solar panel, so this adheres to the top of your trailer. This one is for the camera, so it adheres to the back of your trailer. And these are just metal plates, so there's magnets behind the camera and the solar panel. So they just connect right on via magnet. So far, I'm feeling like this is going to be a very simple installation, but hopefully I'm not proved wrong. First thing I'm going to do is just attach all of the antennas. They just screw in to the top of your touchscreen. We've got two of them here. And we will screw in the antenna to the camera as well. Let's get that done and over with. All right, and the next thing that we're going to do is go and figure out in the vehicle exactly where we're going to mount the touchscreen. So we're installing this in a Toyota 4Runner, so I'll show you what it looks like in here. Of course, this will be a little bit different for your vehicle, but again, generally it's a fairly simple installation. So as mentioned earlier, this screen comes with two different mounts out of the box. So we've got the adhesive mount, so that's this one here, and we've got the suction cup mount. So you can use either one of these, and it really depends on where you're going to mount it. So in our case, you could mount on the windshield or up here on the dash, but honestly I feel like that will affect the visibility when we're driving. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to use one of these cup holders down here, either this one or this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set one of these mounts directly in the cup holder, and we'll see how that plays out. So since I'm installing it in one of the cup holders, I'm actually going to use the mount that has the 3M tape on the back. This has a bit of a longer arm, so I think it's going to do a better job of keeping the screen kind of a little bit higher for me to see. So it's pretty simple. There's a little metal slide, simply slides on the back of the camera, and you can slide it up and down and then screw it in at the position that is right for your visibility. Pretty easy. In this case, I'm not going to use the adhesive at this point. I'm going to try it without in the cup holder. I don't think I really want this permanently adhered, and I don't want it to damage my vehicle. But if you were sure of the position, you could certainly take that adhesive off and secure it or fasten it permanently. So it's going to look something like this when it's mounted. So there's what the little touchscreen looks like in the cup holder itself. But like I said, you might decide to mount it up on your dash or up here somewhere. It really depends on what's most comfortable for you. Alright, so after thinking about it a little bit more, I'm actually going to use the 12-volt DC connection to power the touchscreen. Because realistically, often when we're on our long road trips, I do have my phone plugged in at the same time. So I want to make sure that I'm leaving the USB-C for my phone. So I've connected the 12-volt, and we'll connect it into the screen now. And we can see it powering up. And now what I'm going to do is we can see that immediately it does pair up with the camera, which I've brought into the vehicle here just for demonstration purposes. I kind of expected that we might actually need to pair this, but it seems to come out of the box paired. If it doesn't come out of the box paired for you in the same way that it's done here, in that case you're going to want to follow the pairing instructions in the manual. So in order to give you an idea of how easy the installation can be, I'm actually not going to change any settings on the touchscreen. There's a lot of settings in there. It looks like you can do a lot of things, but let's test it immediately right out of the box. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you some of the settings that we changed in order to meet our needs. All right, so now we are ready to mount the camera and the solar panel to the back of the trailer. So they do send you a little kit to be used to make sure that the 3M adhesive works properly. So they send you a little microfiber cloth as well. You start with this. Step 1 is a little wet wipe to remove the dirt. Step 2 is a dry wipe to remove additional dirt. And then this little packet is what they're calling adhesion promotion. So I guess that just makes doubly sure that your 3M is going to stick to the surface that you intend to. So make sure you clean the surface really well, but before you actually mount it, you want to test the camera at the location where you're planning to mount it and make sure that you have a good signal back to the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and park the 4Runner in the hitch position in front of the trailer, and then we're going to hold the camera up approximately where we're going to install the camera and make sure that that's all working and that we have good signal before we do a final installation. So you're going to want 2 people for this part of the process, because you'll want to hold the camera up where you think you're going to be installing it, and then you want to have someone else go in the vehicle and make sure that the signal strength is strong enough and that the angle looks good. So we've done that, and now we're going to prepare the surface with the special wipes that they send along, and then we're going to adhere the camera mount and also the solar panel. So the camera mount is attached, so now we're going to connect the camera with the magnet on the back, and then next we'll do the solar panel. Solar panel is connected, and we're just doing that first so that we can make sure that the cord stays nice and taut wherever we happen to place the solar panel on the roof.
I think that's good. We don't want it too tight.
Alright, so same process for mounting the metal solar panel mount. Got to clean the surface first, and then pull the adhesive, pull the cover off the adhesive, and we can install it. Alright, so it is all installed. This is a view from behind the trailer right now. And like I said, this is just with the factory settings right now. I haven't changed any of the settings on this touchscreen, but I will go through that next and just show you some of the things that you can change. So here's a few of the settings. When you're on the main screen, if you tap anywhere on the screen, this first menu comes up. So down here across the bottom, if you have multiple cameras, you can change between the cameras. We're on 4 by default, that's the factory setting. You just click that back on again. Now over here, you can set the camera to go off after a certain period of time. So after 120 seconds, 240 seconds, or never. And go down to the end here. This brings us into some more detailed settings. So there's some recording and playback functions here. So if you did insert a small micro SD memory card in here, you could record the footage from your reverse camera. Right now I don't have a micro SD card connected, and it doesn't come with one, but I might try that on down the road. You can change the camera view. You could mirror and flip. Not sure why you would want to do that, but it's a possibility. You can change your brightness and your contrast on this screen. And we've got our pairing area here, but out of the box it does come prepared, so you likely won't have to use that. This is a cool feature, this volume feature. So if I turn this up, I can actually hear what's going on behind me. And what happens a lot when we're reversing into a site is I'll go and stand behind the trailer and give Dave some directions. And the nice thing is now he'll be able to hear me calling out directions directly from the camera's mic, so looking forward to that. Just go back into those settings. I'm going to turn it down for now. And then we can go over to the main settings. And again, you can change some of the video format and some auto dimming, and we can have the screen shut off after a certain period of time. So a few settings to play with, but to be honest, right now I'm going to leave this with its out-of-the-box settings. You will notice at the top of the screen, right up here, there's something that says ERR and a red little mark next to it. And of course that's concerning at first, that looks like an error, but that's just because we don't have a micro SD card in the unit at the moment. So all good there, we don't need to worry, we're in good shape. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is going on a camping trip, and then we will try this. There's Dave behind the trailer. So we'll go on a camping trip in the next couple days, and we'll try this with reversing and hitching up and try it in a few different modes to see how it all works out. It's time for some road testing. Early in the video, I mentioned we would place the touchscreen lower down near the gear shift, but after some testing, we found it was better to have it mounted on the dash. The cool thing about this camera is that it isn't just for reversing. You can also use it while you're on the road to see what's behind you, which you can see here. We found this especially useful when we had a turn coming up on a highway and wanted to make extra sure that there was no vehicles coming up quickly behind us. Of course, our mirrors allow us to do this, but the camera provides a very clear view. Here you can see the view from the reverse camera as we leave the campsite. It's high resolution and was another nice check to see what was behind us. When we got home from this trip, it was time to reverse.
We park our RV next to our garage and on top of some wooden blocks. So as you can imagine, you have to be exact with the reversing. The camera did a good job of making reversing that much easier. Overall, based on our usage so far, we would recommend this reverse camera. It seems to be high quality and robust, and does all the things that we would want from a reverse camera. The bonus of this camera is that the installation was quick and easy because we didn't have to run any new wiring, and the solar panel does a good job of keeping the camera charged. In the off-season, it's also easy to remove the camera and solar panel to store them away so they aren't exposed to the elements for long periods of time. Before taking to the road, we were skeptical about whether or not the magnet would hold the camera and solar panels on their mounts, especially at highway speeds. But turns out this was not an issue at all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out. And don't forget to come back tomorrow to see where we go next.